so for the 4 for 20, I, of course, had a couple ideas. The main thing that I would use when it comes to picking up 4 for 20 at GameStop is retro. Time for a quick stop to GameStop to trade some stuff in and potentially take advantage of a 4 for 40 or a 4 for 20. See what they got. All right, so I traded in a couple games. I returned a game I already had, and I picked up a 4 for 40. I was gonna try to go through the retro stuff and pick up a 4 for 20 as well, but it got really busy in there, so I just stuck with my 4 for 40. And unfortunately, one of the games I wanted was not there. They just didn't have it, so I went with the next best option. So here's what I ended up getting. Each of these were 10 bucks. I think I did okay. So we'll start off with Resident Evil Origins collection on the PS4. This includes RE1 and RE0. I don't have either of those physically, so I figured I'd grab it. They didn't have it on Xbox, which is where I would prefer to have it, but it's fine. I have it on PS4 now for 10 bucks. Elite Dangerous on the PS4. Not a game you see super often. Got it for 10 bucks. Ain't complaining there. And then a couple of games in the same franchise on Xbox, and I'm pretty happy with these. We have Zombie Army Trilogy on the Xbox and Zombie Army 4 on the Xbox. So I got a pretty solid collection of action games, all for 10 bucks a piece. Not too bad. I'm gonna try to come back over the weekend because I do have to pick up one of my pre-orders, which is the first Berserker Kazan. And yeah, we'll see if I can get another deal. All right, it is time for the final recap, and I got some more pickups. So I went to GameStop because I had a pre-order that was supposed to come out on Thursday. Apparently I pre-ordered it too late, so it didn't come in. So I'm still waiting on that, so that'll be on the next episode. However, I did get one more game from Amazon that came in, and I took advantage of the 4 for 20 deal before that ended. So I actually did both a 4 for 40 and a 4 for 20. I think I did pretty well on both. I'll let you be the judge of that. But let's get to the new stuff before we recap the old stuff. So the game I got on Amazon, I've heard good things about this game. And it was on sale for $15, brand new sealed. So I figured, you know what? I might as well grab it, especially for that price. So we have Nexomon and Nexomon Extinction, the complete collection on the Switch. If you couldn't tell, this is a Pokemon clone, but apparently it's a pretty good one. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I'm always down to play more Pokemon-like games. I just picked up Temtem on Xbox, so now I have another one on the Switch. Figured I'd give it a shot. Could be a lot of fun. I paid $15. This is actually worth 30 bucks, brand new sealed. So good start to the week. All right, so for the 4 for 40, or sorry, 4 for 20, I, of course, had a couple ideas. The main thing that I would use when it comes to picking up 4 for 20 at GameStop is retro. Because newer games, it's a little harder to find stuff that's $10 or less, although I did find one that I did add to my collection. I'm pretty happy to add it. So I was mostly focusing on retro stuff, and I actually picked up some pretty good ones, although one is a duplicate, and I'll explain why I did that in a second. So we'll start off with Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. And as you can see, this is the complete big box version. And when I say complete, it is complete. The book is there, the case is here, it's in pretty darn immaculate condition, so I didn't have the original Mario Maker. Now granted, I know you can't do a whole lot with it now because the servers are shut off. So pretty much you can play the pre-installed levels, or you can make new ones and save them locally on your system, but that's all you can really do. But, you know, it's a Wii U game I didn't have, and it had a really nice condition, big box copy that I could pick up for $5. I figured it was worth picking up for that. So I paid $5, and Mario Maker is worth $10. So there you go. Good pickup there. This one is one I already have, but I did not have case and manual. It was a loose disc I got years ago from, I think, one of my loose disc lots. but now I have a complete copy for $5, and this one's in better shape, so I figured it's worth it. Escape Dead Island on the PS3. This is a spin-off game of Dead Island. It came out, I think, a little bit after the first Dead Island. This was, of course, long before Dead Island 2, which took way too long to come out. It's not a very good game from what I've heard, but, you know, I figured I'd pick it up. Might as well, especially for $5. A nice complete copy. I paid $5, it's worth $7, so not a huge bump, but hey, still less than what I paid. Then the one new game that I found, I was surprised this was that cheap. It is a game that's on Game Pass, so I didn't have to buy a physical copy, but I do own the first one. So I figured I might as well own the second one physically. State of Decay 2 on the Xbox One. I've heard very good things about both State of Decay games. I haven't played either one, but I've heard they're both very good. Clearly they were good because Microsoft bought the studio because they were good. So yeah, now I have a physical copy of State of Decay 2. Pretty happy with that. Paid $5. This one is worth $12, so another really solid pickup there. And then while we were going through the retro drawer, I was just looking at various games, and I saw this one, and I'm like, what is that? I've never heard of it. And it was $10, so I'm like, well, I feel I have to, just because it's a game I haven't heard of. It apparently is bad, but I don't care. I'm gonna grab it. We have Morph X on the Xbox 360. It's a 505 game that came out in 2010. It looks like a prototype / Infamous style game that's a pretty bad ripoff of it. It's probably not good, but you know, for $5, and it's not a game you see very often, I figured I'd pick it up on as well. Paid $5, and this one is worth $14. So it was actually, of the games I picked up for the 4 for $20, it was the best one. So now let's get to the other stuff. Let's go straight into the 4 for $40 to see how I did on these as opposed to the other ones that I got. So we'll start off with Resident Evil Origins Collection on the PS4. I'm trying to get all the physical Resident Evil games. I prefer them on Xbox because I have most of them on there already. So I will be on the lookout to find this collection on Xbox, and when I do, I'll probably trade this in, but they had it, so I figured I'd get it. It has Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil the remake on it. But yeah, now I have a physical copy of both of those, so that's good. I paid $10, it's worth $18. Not bad there. And the other PS4 game is Elite Dangerous on the PS4. Sci-fi shooter game made by Frontier. I've heard good things about it. I've never played it, but hey, it was $10, so I can't really complain about that. Paid $10. This one is worth $20. So I think this was the winner of the 4 for $20 or 4 for $40. Sorry. Then 2 games in the same franchise, and I figured, well, if I pick up one, I might as well pick up the other. So we have the Zombie Army Trilogy on the Xbox. It is a third person, or actually I think it's FPS, but it's like a Left 4 Dead style game where it's co-op. You kill a bunch of zombies. I've heard it's pretty fun. It's made by Rebellion. Figured I'd give it a shot, especially for $10. Might as well. Paid $10. This one's worth $16. And then I was wrong. This was the winner of the whole lot. We have Zombie Army 4. Dead War on the Xbox, so this is the 4th game, so now I have all 4 of the Zombie Army games on Xbox, so hey, complete series in one shot, not bad. Paid $10, and this one is worth $25, so pretty happy with those. I think I did well on both of my forfers, so I ended up paying $60 for 8 games, and they're all worth well more than what I paid for them, so pretty happy there. Then we're going to go to Amazon, where I picked up 2 brand new release games. The first is Goat Simulator Remastered on the PS5. This is a remaster of the classic stupid Goat Simulator game. I think I have the Xbox 360 copy. It was a Games with Gold game, but now I have a physical copy, and it's a updated version with all the DLC. It was also cheap. It was like $30, and I figured, you know what, I might as well get it for the PS5 because it was the only physical platform they had it on. Paid $30, and this one is worth $30 because it just came out. Another new release, ironically, also from Rebellion. So I've gotten 3 Rebellion games in one episode. Atomfall on the Xbox. This is a game literally just came out. It's on Game Pass, so you can play it if you have Game Pass. I wanted to get a physical copy because I've noticed a lot of these day one Game Pass games tend to be kind of hard to find the later we go. Like, Stalker 2 is kind of hard to find, and that was a day one Game Pass game, so I picked that one up on day one as well. But I wanted to pick up Atomfall, so now I have a physical copy of it. When the day comes where they remove it from Game Pass, because it will happen, it's not a Microsoft published game, so figured I'd get a physical copy of it. Paid $60. This one's worth $60. And then last but certainly not least, we have my 2 clearance games I got from Best Buy. These are both limited run distro games that they've been trying to get rid of that I just decided to grab. We have Windjammers 2 on the Switch. Arcadey, like, Frisbee game. I've heard good things about it. Figured I'd pick it up. I paid $21. This is worth $30. And then last but certainly not least, we have Bloodstain Curse of the Moon 2 on the PS4. I have Bloodstain Ritual of the Night on Xbox, but now I have this one on PS4. Bloodstain is basically like a spiritual successor to Castlevania, since Konami apparently has no interest in making new Castlevania games, so NT Creates is doing their own. But now I have this one. I paid, I think it was 19? 18 or 23. And that's it. Pretty solid week for a pickups week. We got a good amount of stuff from that are new releases, so really good quality add-ins, and then a bunch of games from GameStop that are part of the 4 for deals. That deal has ended. I'm actually filming this the day after the deal ended, so it is over. So I strongly recommend whenever GameStop is doing one of those 4 for 20, 4 for 40, definitely take a look, especially if your store has retro games. I'd say retro games are kind of the key for the 4 for 20 because finding modern platforms or like PS4, Xbox One is tough, but retro games, it's a lot easier to find stuff in that price range. 4 for 40 is a bit easier. You just have to find stuff that's $20 or less, and I think you can do pretty well, as I proved, because I got 8 quality titles to add to my collection and didn't pay a whole lot for it. I paid less than what a Xbox Series or PS5 game is, and I got 8 really good quality games, so you can definitely do well with those sales. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, that way you know when new videos drop. Next week we got more pickups, and then we'll see what happens after that. Thanks for watching. See you next time on the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.